Alrighty, sorry guys, if you are watching a replay, this is not the start of tonight's live. This has happened like the last 3 lives. I've gotten disconnected, and so there's like 2 parts. This is the second part. Go visit the first part for the group reading and kind of like the intro. This is just a continuation of individual readings. So just know too, you guys, if that ever happens, I will jump on, especially if someone has donated and I have not finished like doing the reading. So I'm hoping Carly gets back on as well as PM. We were in the middle of a reading for both of them and they both donated. I am doing questions now, opening it up to individual readings. That is donations or guessing games. I want to just give a second for PM. Actually, PM already asked their question, so I'm just going to do a continuation of their reading. And then I am going to Carly, you're probably going to have to throw your question back up, but I remember that it was $10. So, sorry, you're going to have to retype it. Let me finish, PM's reading. Again, guys, like if I ever get disconnected, no, I will jump back on as soon as possible. I do not know what's going on with my internet at all. Like I can see my little booster in here. The Wi-Fi is super strong. So it's something inside my house. Like something is getting disconnected and the internet is just like not being given to me. So this has happened enough that I need to figure it out. I apologize, and I am going to call my Wi-Fi provider tomorrow. I had a crazy amount of chills before the video went down. Ooh, that could definitely be a sign. I was going to say that I have been getting all sorts of signs that my guides are like, don't do 2 lives a week. You can't handle it. And I'm like, I know, but I thought I could. But now I have to commit because I said I would. So I do think that's partially it. I'm going to close this up a little bit more, letting in too many bugs. Please, can you ask your guides what's up with it? Yes. Let's do it really quick, just in case PM, give it a second for PM to come in here. Slow and steady. I feel like that's not. I feel like it's partly that I need to call my internet provider. I feel like it's partly that, like, me doing so many lives for the month of August has just been energetically draining. Might also be my bill. I don't know. No, you didn't miss it, PM. I sort of paused. So let me do a continuation. I still have my cards in front of me for you. I think you caught the start of it, which was me just like prefacing that I could be wrong. But I want to give clear communication and say what I feel. It could be wrong. I really feel like I just feel like it's like getting it out and then it starts over. Getting it out, it starts over. And it just, honestly, it feels like at some point it's just going to be too much and it's going to give out. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that, but I'm being honest. I'm getting what I'm getting. And so I pulled the rock bottom card in reverse. And so to me, this is like, we're really at a point of, it's at the worst that it could be. So it's only up from here. So, and up could be both ways. It could be getting to a point where he's released from this. He doesn't ever have to worry about this again. While he is while he's either living or he decides to move on. And I feel like at least there's hope in knowing that it can't get worse from here, which is a good sign, a good card. I don't ever like want to predict someone's death. I'm not doing that. But the energy here is like, it's at the worst that it could be, which means it can only go up. And I feel like having that frame, that mindset is important, especially because I pulled the magic prayer card. PM, like at this point, this is what's needed, is prayers, good intentions, good thoughts around it, because there's a lot of goblins around this. The goblins card I like to think of as just like mental scariness around it. It's like all the things we're worried about, stressed out about is surrounding the energy of him and what's going on with his life. So again, I feel like we could go much further with this, but I don't want to get too deep into it because I feel like I could just feel like there's a lot going on here, PM. I'm so sorry to hear about it. I hope that he gets better. I really do. I want to pull one more card for you and just ask, what can you do to make it better, if anything? Not controlling the situation. This is really, because I pulled the Queen card for you, PM. This is really like taking care of yourself. It's almost the same message as like what I just gave Eureka, just different context. It's like, make sure that your cup is filled in all of these moments so that you can be there for him in every way and you're not depleting yourself. So really in these moments, like, I feel like you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to like prepare for the worst. And because of that, my needs and my wants have to be set aside, and they really don't want that. Your guys really want you to take care of yourself, because that's the whole thing about a queen, is when the queen takes care of herself, she can protect those that she is in charge of. You have a beautiful fridge. You can put this on your fridge now. Yes. I'm so sorry, PM. All right. But every time he's had a test, I know it's never good. I do feel so strong that he would be leaving me soon from this world. I just want to be wrong. I know. PM, if you have your own tarot cards, maybe question or pulling some more and just asking, like, or doing some automatic writing of like, what can you do to make it the best that it can be? Because I think your intuition is serving you right. But I don't want to encourage it in case I'm wrong. But right here, this is an ethics versus intuition battle that's going on. Intuitively, it's pretty clear to me. I could be reading your energy, though, PM. I could be reading your catastrophe mindset. So I think, the message is still the same. Move forward, taking care of yourself, making every moment the best that it can be, asking your guides, what can we do to make this better in this current moment? And I think time will tell you, time will show if he's going to get better or if he's not going to get better. I would, instead of holding the hope and the light that, I know I'm spending way too much time on this, but I feel responsible. I would hold the hope and the light that everything will be good and positive, not that he will get better and it will be gone. Because that intention, that manifestation in a way, is so narrow-minded. What if that's not what's supposed to happen? What we want to happen is for happiness, love, health. We want positive intentions, positive outcome. Either way, like if, cancer takes over or if it doesn't, we still want the same thing, which is happy days. And I feel like that should be your focus, instead of like, I need to get rid of this or I need to control it. Like, get out of controlling mindset, because there's really not a whole lot you can do about it either way, is what I'm feeling. But alrighty, let's do Carly next. So Carly donated $10. My question was that I need clarity on my relationship with my boyfriend, and I also just started my own business, and I was wondering when/how I'll start to see more money coming in. Thank you. All right, so let's do boyfriend first, and then that one's popping out. There's lots of thoughts and feelings around the boyfriend, and I think that's what's so confusing, is you're just like going in circles. You're just like second guessing yourself with everything, and I feel like that definitely needs to get rid of first. So I pulled the Sanctuary card, which is like spending time with yourself, like really sitting down. I always say, like, not listening to a psychic, listening to your own intuition. Like, where are your thoughts? Where are your feelings? Write those out. Like, what can you do about those thoughts and feelings? Is there anything that could be turned into like an action? Like, hey, can we make this better, or a compromise? But first step I'm feeling like is just stop doubting yourself and doubting the relationship, because the doubt is clouding your judgment. Whether, you're going to make the right decision either way. And I think that's what you need to hear. But doubting yourself because you feel like you're doing something wrong, or he's not good for you, or you're not like a perfect match, that's just getting in your way, because no one's ever going to be like a perfect match for each other. I feel like that's like what's stuck in your head. You make each other better for yourself, if that makes sense. And, you come to the other person and say, hey, this bothers me. This is what I need out of the relationship. And then they can choose to listen to you because they love you, and they can choose to change and try to be better. Or they can be like, screw you, I'm going home. I don't know why I'm quoting Cartman. Which, by the way, you guys, Colorado has Casa Bonita, and Trey Stone and Matt Parker, or did I swap their last names? They bought Casa Bonita. They're the creators of South Park. So that business was going under because of COVID. And I'm so freaking excited that they bought it out, because it's kind of a shithole. And I think they're going to turn it around and make it something so cool. I'm so excited. Anyway, okay. Yeah. So you're adrift right now, Carly. It's like you're just like, I have no direction. I don't know where I'm going. And that's totally okay. And I feel like letting go of the doubt, letting go of all the negativity around it, and again, sitting with yourself. And I feel like your guides are being very like process oriented, of like, sit down, ask yourself, what's wrong here? What's not working? What do I not like? And then once you figure out all of your emotions around it, then you can piece by piece go around and be like, all right, what can I do about this emotion? Is this something that I need to change in me? Is this something I need to ask him to change? Is this something that it just needs to be a conversation? Very like, I'm seeing bulleted numbers like in my mind. But I think the doubt is just making you confused. Like, don't give up before you communicate the problem. That's definitely what's coming through. Time out. Look at this. Sanctuary, time out, adrift. Take a break from it. Focus on yourself. Focus on your own thoughts around it. Stop asking for outside opinion. Stop going to him, or even just, I feel like it's like going to him and not really having a plan before you talk to him about this stuff, and kind of like making it worse. Let me just jump down and see if she said anything. Hey guys, I am just reading Carly really quick. Okay, so that was boyfriend. Anything else on boyfriend? Pulled the Making Love card. Divine sensuality. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I feel like sex will make the situation better. And I was like, I'm double checking. Is it that she needs to like fulfill that on her own? No. Is there an imbalance of sensuality or sexuality in the relationship? No. I feel like this would actually make you get connected. Do not take this advice if it makes you uncomfortable or does not make you feel good. You have free will. All right. And then your second question was, I started my own business and I was wondering when/how I'll start to see more money coming in. Woo! Well, okay, so they're still talking about the boyfriend. So new romantic cycle begins. I feel like once you get through this, I feel like you guys are going to come out on top of it, honestly, because I feel like once you just sort through some of your thoughts and present him with like, this is what I need, it's going to get a lot better. This one, though, is for your business. Take time to breathe it out. Intuitively, I was feeling like it's going to make you money, but I feel like you have a high expectation of it like turning around and making you money like tomorrow. Like it feels like it still might take some time. So if you need to like adjust any plans for that, I'll ask for a timeline. I'm seeing 8 months. I feel like it's 8 months before it even starts like making a dent. Unfortunately, you can change the future. You can do things now to make this happen faster. I'm pulling all the solitude cards for you, girl. I feel like around your business, it's almost like the same message of like, stop, think about what it is that needs to happen with your business. How can you make you more money quicker? And I feel like, again, it's like all the outside opinions. Maybe you're watching all the YouTube videos or asking family or friends for advice, but really it's like you have all the answers. You know what's supposed to happen with your business and how it can progress quicker. And I feel like it's a lot of uncomfortable truths, I will say, of like putting in more time, putting in more money or more effort. It could be any or none of those things, but it's something like you don't want to do probably. So I answered the when. Let's do the how. Pulled the cleaning house card. I'm laughing not like at you. I'm laughing at the fact how much these cards resonate with each other. Oh, this is why you need to go inward. Okay. So there needs to be a lot of cleaning house done. Cleaning house, I feel like this is mentally. So this is like cleaning up your thoughts around the situation. Again, like getting out of lack mentality. I feel like lack mentality for you is huge, Carly, because I pulled the Golden Palace in reverse. And Golden Palace is exactly that. It's like feeling like you have nothing. You're not connected to your divine abundance. Carly, I would read, I feel like Get Rich, Lucky Bitch. Lucky Bitch is her second book. It's a completely different book. That was the first book. Or even Chillpreneur by Denise Duffield Thomas. If you're feeling like you don't even know where to start with, I would check out her books. And especially because I pulled the education card in reverse, I feel like there's just a lot of lessons that you need to learn around your business. And that's why it's going to take so long. It's like you're going to figure out, oh, I'm doing this in a much more difficult way and I'm making it hard on myself. And you'll figure out an easier way for, to make something clearer on your website or speed up a shipping process or something like that. But what is on your side, Carly, I will say, is that you are just everything is happening at the right time in the right place. You're supposed to be starting this now. Don't doubt that. It just might take a little bit longer. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Having multiple irons in the fire when it comes to your money will make it not be so stressful, and you'll put everything on that new job. And that's what can kind of kill our motivation sometimes, is when we expect it to make us money like instantly and it doesn't, then we're like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. It's not that. It's just that you kind of have to give those things a little bit of time to grow. But yeah. Thank you for the donation, Carly. I'm sure some of that was not what you wanted to hear, but all right, let me catch up. Sorry, guys. Thank you guys for being so sweet to the other members. I see sometimes I'll see other people's lives and people are just rude. What's ironic, as a therapist, we have similar rules of ethics and ethical dilemmas to work through. Oh, I missed it. Where'd it go? While in a session with a client as well. Yes. So Silly Rabbit, I am very thankful for my teacher, my mentor. She was highly aware of that kind of thing. So she definitely instilled that in me. I have this like super always check your ethics sort of thing. And I mean, I think a lot of psychics don't have that. And because of that, it's like those are the psychics out there that put a bad name on the group or the industry of like what we do. And so obviously here I teach all about that, and I'm like super hardcore about it. Not as hardcore as my teacher, I would say, because I don't require you guys to learn about it before watching any of my other videos. I feel like she probably wouldn't approve of that, but to me, it's more important that you have the information than not. But I'm so glad you said that, Silly Rabbit, because it's always a struggle. You never know. Like, you want to give the full amount of information because, like, you want to tell your guides you hear them and you appreciate it and you want to give the person the most clear answer. But at the same time, like, if you could be wrong and you just told somebody like their person is going to die, you know, that could have serious problems. Hello, Alyssa. Let me double check. I just assume. Woohoo! Thank you, Alyssa. $10. Okay. Let me just jump down to the comments, but I'll be right back up to you, Alyssa. South Park. You killed Katie! I know. I love South Park. So they did, it's season 7, episode 11. They did a show about Casa Bonita. Have any of you guys been to Casa Bonita in Colorado? It is an interesting, I've never seen anything like it, but they were making fun of it and how it's like so amazing when you're a kid, but it's really just like a crap hole. Spot on, like, wow, amazing. Really good law of attraction. It began. You're welcome, Carly. I did, Alyssa. Sorry. Your enchanted map oracle deck is calling to me. I had a feeling someone was going to want these tonight. My guys, like, when I pulled it out, they were like, use this one and remember to tell somebody that it's in the description because I think somebody's going to want it. I was like, okay, sure. You're welcome, Carly. Yes. Sorry, Alyssa. I was reading Carly, who was above you. She donated. She actually donated in the previous video and I got disconnected. So, Alyssa, I would like to know what you see happening for Jordan and I ultimately. How does he feel for me? Also, if I may ask what he will think about the message I sent tonight. Okay. I'm gonna do a different type of spread since you donated a little bit more. I think I'm gonna have to cap off my readings here soon. I think I'll do one more free reading. Any other donations, let's get them in because I'm probably need to keep my second live nights a little bit shorter so I don't burn out. Because I'm also reading tomorrow. I'm reading Saturday. This is an intense week. Okay. So, Alyssa. So I'm doing just like a relationship spread, and I love doing these. And basically, I have past, present, future you, past, present, future him. But this is really like how you guys feel towards each other. And I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called the honeybee spread, and I absolutely love it. And then I pull one card in the middle that's like the core, like what brings you together, but what also destroys you. And these two cards are stuck together. That's interesting. Okay. So in the past, you guys were brought together, or your relationship was very in the present moment, which can be good and bad. Because if it's bad, it's like you're getting together on a whim, and, you know, I feel like there is a certain quality of that, which you might doubt. But because you were living in the present moment, you attracted him because you were living in the present moment. And that is a good thing. I feel like in the past, you guys also just were like very connected romantically, maybe even sexually. Like that was very strong. Where you're at right now, both of you guys are like reassessing the situation. He's taking a time out. He's like thinking about things. He's probably being a little bit more alone right now, which probably freaks you out. And you are feeling like, oh my gosh, maybe there's some secrecy going on. Maybe I should be cautious. Maybe I should be a little bit more wary of his emotions. Okay. It's going to be a random like story, but I've been thinking about this nonstop. So do you guys watch The Bachelorette / The Bachelor? It's a shit show. Like, I hate it. I don't know how I get sucked into it, but I fucking get sucked into it, and I hate it. And every single season, I'm like, why the hell did I watch this? This made me so mad. So the most recent season, you don't need to watch this for your reading, but the most recent season, like, literally, these two people were in love. Like, they were each other, and I was rooting for them. And what happened was the dude started to get self-conscious, and the chick didn't know how to like give the right response to things sometimes. And so what they both did, instead of like talking through things and working through things, they sabotaged their relationship in an instant. And this is sort of like what I feel like is on the horizon for you, Alyssa. Like, you're at this point where both of you are facing the other way because you're both doubting the relationship, doubting each other. And so you have one of two options. You can keep going down this path of being like, why is he acting this way? Oh my gosh. And like reading too much into it, thinking that he's holding secrets from you. And then you're withholding your energy from him. You're not being vulnerable. And then he's taking a time out. He needs a break. And so he's withholding his energy from you. And so like the worst thing you guys could do right now is just like explode at each other and break up and not try, is like what it feels like. And so the future of what needs to happen is like, you need to get your alone time. You need to sort out your feelings on the situation and come back with like, this is what I need. This is what I want. Be very vulnerable and open, and don't assume the worst, especially with him. And what he needs right now is an energy field adjustment. And so to me, this could mean a lot of things, but like the fact that we pulled up the very romantic sexual past, you know, and, you know, it could have been any card, but to me, maybe he's like thinking about this and wanting something more there. Maybe he feels like something has changed there. And he just needs to get into a different mindset around it. He needs to cleanse his energy so that he can come to the table and talk about what he needs and what he wants. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do what he says. There just needs to be communication. This is just like coming through so clearly to me. I feel like relationships are actually like one of my strongest reading points, but I don't often get them. Or I should say I do. But they're literally pointing out like the Mars and Venus book to me, Alyssa, which is like a garbage. It can be a garbage book in a lot of ways, but very like misogynistic. But there are some truths in that book. And what I feel like is happening right now is like you're reading into him taking a time out. This is him sorting out his emotions, trying to figure out like how to deal with the situation. It's not him like pulling away from you or not loving you. This is just like how he's processing through his thoughts. So I feel like you guys both need to take a little bit of a time out, both center within yourself, center in what you want and need, and then come back to each other. And then just the core of the relationship, like what brings you together and what draws you apart. Definitely some codependent energy. So the damsel, this is like waiting for the prince to rescue you. This could go both ways. But I also pulled the father card. These two were stuck together. So I feel like this is a lot of like past learned things about relationships from your parents or his parents. And okay, so let me read like what pushes you guys apart. What pushes you guys apart is like waiting for the other person to rescue you, and also like the negative side, the shadow side of being of a father is like abuse of authority, dictatorial control. So to me, that's just like trying to control each other too much and not actually listening and just being like, this is what you need to do. So what can bring you together and what is actually going to be helpful is connecting to the light side of these. And so what is the light side of a damsel? Somebody that doesn't need the other person. You guys can rely on yourself to figure out the situation, come together, and not need the other person to satisfy you. And I feel like with his sexual stuff, it's like he needs to on some level accept that like you are not the sole provider of his sexualness. I don't know. I feel like I could get on a tangent there. But and same with you. Like, you can say your boundaries, set your expectations, and you don't have to wait around for him to provide that to you. You can find that within yourself. And the positive side of a father, creating and supporting each other. I just feel like it's all about vulnerability. It's like getting your space, coming together in a non-aggressive way to like talk about things. So I feel like I spent a lot of time on that already, but let me just make sure I get the rest of your questions. How does he feel for me? I think in the moment right now, he feels like something has changed, but that doesn't mean that you guys can't start fresh, start new. Not even fresh or new. It's just like a new chapter is kind of what I'm getting. And I think this energy field adjustment card is what I keep coming back to. And it's like he's in this mode of accepting that things are different. And I either can like peace out and give up, or I can try to make it better. And so that's what he's coming to terms with right now. But remember that romance and that love is naturally there. He's just having a hard time connecting to that again now. What will he think about the message I sent tonight? I'll just pull one card for that. I'm hearing like it's determined on whether he perceives it as an attack or something loving, because I feel like however you wrote it, it could be perceived either way. I did pull the card Hold Your Vision, so to me that says there was something good in what you said. Whether or not he's going to listen to it, I don't know. But, you know, overall looking at this reading, take some time and then come back to it at a vulnerable standpoint. And hopefully he will reciprocate that. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you for the donation. All right. So behind. Sorry, guys. He's Aquarius. I'm Virgo. Thank you, Yurka. Hey, Cheyenne, thank you. Alrighty. Let me just read everyone's comments, and then I'll get to Cheyenne. Let's see. 2-year relationship. He hurt me a lot. Cheated, traumatized me. I'm just now seeing all this, of course. Sorry. Well, Alyssa, maybe that's something that is kind of on that list of what you demand. Like, I need you to communicate with me. You need to talk to me about your emotions if we're going to move forward. From what you're saying, it does not sound like he was a good person, though. You know, and so maybe all of that solitude will help you realize maybe I don't need him. I don't need to be codependent on him. Maybe the universe is testing you and being like, are you sure you want to be dependent on only yourself? Are you sure you can handle this? You know what I mean? I mean, just with your added input, it feels like he needs to work through his stuff is kind of how I would interpret that. You need to spend some time alone and understand that there's a lot of changes that needs to be made on his end, but you are not waiting around for him to make that. You know, there can be one conversation where you come together, do it in person, talk through this, but that is your like mile marker is what I like to call it of like, is this a potential or is this not? And he should be on the same page as you. And if he's not, do not waste that time. All right, Cheyenne. Okay. Starting my junior year of college next week. Woohoo! And want to know if my guides have anything they want me to know about the new year / any advice they have. You're welcome, Cheyenne. Did I say I'd do one more free reading? Am I crazy? I think I'm not crazy. I don't know what I think. right, let's do this. I'm starting my junior year of college next week. Oh my God, is that anything they want me to know about the year? Any advice? I'm going to pull these cards. Like good energy in general, nothing too big or scary. So there's definitely like a message of just like fully stepping into yourself and who you are, Cheyenne. Like it's not that you don't already do that, but I pulled the Fool card, which is like, you think it's bad, but all of these cards are upright. And to me, this is fearlessly revealing emotion. And I also pulled it with the Slave card, which is also upright. And this is like, I don't think the message is actually written here. I think it's more of a feeling that I'm getting of like, you're not doing anything more than what you need to do. Like you're very clear with your boundaries of like who you're hanging out with, like how much work you're devoting to other people, other things in your life. Okay, this is just like creeping in the back of my mind. Okay. Hold that thought. But there's something about you, like, I feel like you have an opportunity to, like, make new friends. Like, this is more of, like, a friendship kind of year. And this is just, like, being the most honest version of yourself. And, like, and the only example I can think of is, like, if somebody were to ask you about something and you'd be like, oh, yeah, let me pull my tarot cards. Or not even that as much as, like, oh, yeah, I totally believe in that. And it's like the things that you would normally like hide from other people. It's like, be more open about that because you're going to attract a lot better people into your life. It's something, and I read this in the book that I'm reading recently, and it's like totally the message that's coming through of like, when you vibrate or like shine your light at a lower level than what it really is, you just kind of attract the same energy back. It's just like kind of meh friends. But as soon as you start like showing all your weirdness and unapologetic for it or about it, it's like you just start attracting like all these amazing people that are super supportive and match your frequency. And so I feel like that's what these two cards are about, is like really just like step into yourself and like be really honest about who you are as a person and vulnerable, and you're going to attract some really good friends this year. Like that's definitely coming through. I think there's a secondary message with this Slave card of just like make sure you're not signing up for too much. Like you don't want to get into situations where, and that's what that message was. You don't want to get into a situation where like you feel pressured to do more work than you signed up to do. Like, I don't know if you're working for your school or something, but my guides were literally giving me this message of like, and this is something that happened to me, like being totally taken advantage of by like a teacher or like the staff or something. I mean, this literally happened to me. I have been graduated from college for 7 years now, and I work with my school in my other job, like my video production job. We do a lot of videos for the school because we have that relationship there. And they honestly, well, they have several departments, but one of the department that was technically the closest to us, it was the film school department, has been taking advantage of us a lot in the last like couple months. And we basically had to sever that tie yesterday. And so that immediately like, or not immediately, but it started creeping up on me, Cheyenne. And I was like, ooh, is this me or is this her? And it was like same sort of message of like, don't get into a relationship where you like tell the teacher you're going to come in really late and do work, or, oh yeah, I'll do that. And, I'll put in the time to do this because you like want to look good or make people happy or get extra credit, because they're just going to take advantage of you and you're going to burn out. Like there's definitely like something along those lines that could happen. So just being wary that you're not jumping into that slave role. I pulled the Mystic card, and because we're talking about school, I feel like this is learning, like equally putting some time into developing your mystical abilities, like whatever you associate with that, whether you're like into witchcraft or you're into your psychic abilities. Like I see you taking classes, and it's almost like equally nurturing both parts of you. I feel like it's unrelated to school, but it's related because it's going to help you just become more yourself. You're going to get more guidance about what to do in school. You're just going to get a lot more clarity in that sense. And then the last two cards, I have Father in reverse, and my immediate thought was like, maybe there will be like a falling out. Not a bad falling, not even a falling out. Like maybe there's an argument. Maybe there's just more tension with your father. Like I'm taking this card very literally. So it's just to be like aware of that and distance yourself if needed. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else there. I feel like this is your year, Cheyenne. Like, so, because I feel like senior year, you're going to be like so fucking done. You're going to be like, get me out of here. But the visionary card, to me, this is like, I feel like you're really connecting with what you want to do in this field or what you want to do with this work. And I feel like you're really like shining like with what you're doing, and you're getting like a lot of recognition for like how good you are in whatever you do at school. I think this is just confirmation that this is like your year to really connect with yourself. It's almost like on a spiritual level in a lot of ways, and then you radiate out, this awesome vibe, and because of that you attract so many good things coming. I'll just read this. Capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. I just feel like you're in a class and you're just like, yeah, I have this idea, and then you like do it really well on a project and you present something and everyone's like, wow, that's so cool, and it's like you make all these awesome connections. Yeah, I feel like it's mostly good stuff, Cheyenne. Just really be yourself, and I think you're going to attract a lot of good things because of it. I have a tumbler that says, let your soul shine. Yes, I'm reading Light is the New Black, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff in that book that I just don't resonate with, but that definitely I resonate with it. That makes a whole lot of sense. I'm working for my school. Yeah, just have that firm hand of being like, I have a lot going on in my life. I don't think I can take that on. And it doesn't have to be like mean. Like if they get all defensive about it, you can just like even be like, don't take it personally. Like I just have a lot on my plate and I don't want to overdo it. And I feel like the integrity and the honesty of that would just, there's nothing that they should argue about it. I feel like I'm totally getting that taking advantage of you vibe. And I hate that. I'm like, no, none of that. All right. Thank you, Zanab. You also left a Google review earlier. I wonder, because people have been saying they've been leaving it, but I have none. And I'm just like, maybe it like just takes a while to show up. But thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Zanab. I think after Zanab, I'm going to do just the free reading that I keep promising, and then we will wrap up with any more donations. So I want to just get to that for those of you who know you're not donating and want to try to guess. Will I do well on my November exam and get into Toro? I'm going to kind of change your question, Zeneb. Instead of will I or won't I, because that's a yes or no question, and I could read it right now and be like no or yes, and that's really not super helpful because the future could change. Instead, what I'm going to ask is how can you pass that exam? Because then it gives you things to work towards and things like you should avoid. Ooh. This is funny because you wouldn't normally think of these things as helping you with an exam, but I pulled the home card, and to me, this is like work-life balance, school-life balance. And so, if your whole life up until November is just like solely school, like you're going to get burnt out, you're going to hate it, you're not going to get clarity, you're not going to have any fun in life. So to me, this is like planning things in your normal life, things that make you excited, happy, whether that's hanging out around people, planning a vacation, even planning little day trips with yourself or with your friends. It's very important that like there is a work-life balance. Like there needs to be a hard line there where I'm not studying anymore. And that really, like, I feel like you're probably like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I need to study or else I'm not going to get good at it. But the thing is like, once you show up for the test, if you are so burnt out that you haven't, like you're so burnt out that you might not even be able to like recall the information and you get all stressed out or something like that, that's not going to help you in the long run. And we want to show up. It's almost like having joy in other areas of life will make you do better in the test, which who am I to say how that works? But that's what is coming through. I also pulled the solitude card for you, Zeneb. So I feel like this is at some points, this is like, it's like a recipe for 3 different things. It's like they want you to have that home, fun life with other people, like social life, connection. They want you to have your work life, which right now is school for you. So school life. And then they want you to have alone time. And the alone time is to really like take care of yourself. This is like that self-care time. If you need to take a bath, if you need to not do anything for a whole Saturday and just sit on the couch and just relax all day, like make sure you are giving yourself those days. I'm just getting overall like huge work-life balance with this so that you can come at it refreshed and renewed and not just so I know I keep saying burnout, but that's like your biggest obstacle for like why you might not pass it. Another big obstacle that I pulled in reverse, this is Magic Stream, and this is about just having a positive mindset, being aware and happy of all the things in your life. Like I feel like right now this is all you want, like your whole life is riding on whether or not you'll pass this exam, but you can always retake an exam. You have plenty of time in your life to do this. And so I feel like right now you're looking at your world as very like, I don't have anything. My well is dried up. I'm going to fail. You're just like catastrophizing. It's just all these things that are like awful and not working out for you. And so there's something about having gratitude in your life for everything that's going well. That's also it's the pressure part of it. It's that it's going to put less pressure on the exam, and something about that will help you do better on it because it's not your end all be all. You have other things in your life to be grateful for and be happy for. I'm glad I rephrased that question because it gives you an idea of like what's in your way, what you could work on for sure. So that was the first part of your question. Will you get into Toro? I'll say same thing, like how can we? That makes so much sense. So I feel like if you do all of those things, it's like all of a sudden you have all of this balance. You're not putting everything on this exam. You have other things in life that light you up. And what's going to happen is you're going to come to life. You're going to be so in alignment with where you are and what you have And I think that's going to determine whether or not you get into Turo, whatever this is. I assume it's a school. And the thing is this doesn't necessarily mean you'll still want that. You know, you might want it and you might be in a perfect aligned place to get in and it's less stressful. Or it might be that you're in this new spot and you're like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. So that one I'm going to say, I don't know. It might take some time. That one is so much further out that it's a little harder to see. I do feel like, though, so I pulled the dry desert card. I feel like it might take you a little bit longer to get there. Reading it now, again, the future can change. It might take you a little bit longer to get to that one. Because, like, the assumption here with this card is, like, she's walking along the desert. She's looking for the oasis, and it takes a little bit of time, and she's got to conserve her resources so that she can get to that oasis. But that doesn't mean, like, it's bad. Like, it might just take some time, and that's okay. Like, I think when you're younger, you just assume that you have to, like, get a job immediately, get into the next school, and do this and do that and do that. And it's like, once you get into, like, your late 20s, I feel like you start to look back in your life, and you're like, why did I rush so much? I have so much time. It is unnecessary. Okay. And then your second question is S planning on reaching out to me to communicate and reconcile? No, I feel like this S person is like putting all the blame on you, is taking no fault of their own. Yeah, I pulled telepathy in reverse, which is like, to me, they are trying to really put that block up energetically of like no more communication, even telepathically. They're taking a time out, which could also be a sign that it's just a break. I think they're getting in touch with their own sexuality, which is, don't read into that too much. I feel like they're going through their own struggle with that, and they need to learn lessons around that. And that's just not in alignment with a relationship with you right now. I'm not saying that, like, again, don't read into it. It's not that, like, he doesn't think or she doesn't think, like, that could be a potential between you guys. It's more like this is going on over there in that person's life, and it's such a distraction that it's like it's not going to make you guys be able to communicate better. Let's see. Yep. What the F is a payball? Oh, you mean PayPal? Yeah, I don't do PayPal anymore. I apologize, but for safety and security reasons, I only have one PayPal, and it's connected to my personal stuff, so I don't want to do that. I do Venmo, and I do Super Chat. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else we can do to kind of help facilitate. Like, what can we do about this with S? Because I'm sure you're still like, well, I want it to happen. I feel like it's just putting your foot forward and making the communication happen. But I'm also hearing, like, be a good judge of if it's even time. Yeah, too much is hidden from you right now. I feel like there's just a lot going on over there with them that's just kind of like making communication harder. I think I'm just not feeling any energy coming from him or her, and so I think that's why I'm just so like bleh about it. I mean, this is Coral's wisdom. This is like knowing in your heart that, you know, things like this take time, and so you're going to have to let it go for a bit, and they might come back around, but you can't hold on to that. You got to put yourself first. Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you, Zanem. I left a review too, but I think Google needs to check the review for like swear words and inappropriate language, and then it becomes. Oh. Yeah, maybe it just takes a while to show up. Well, thank you guys. Maybe I just can't see it. Hello, Sarah! Just in time. All right, so we are going to do one last free reading, and so this is a guessing game. So you have to guess what I'm thinking of, and then you get the reading, and then we will wrap up the night with any donations. So I am going to do, I just did that last time. I'm going to do a color again. If you can think of the color that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. And I will say, too, if you're going to sign off after this, I will be live again next Tuesday. In August, we are doing 2 live nights a week, so I will also be going live another time next week. But tomorrow, I have a new video up, and it's all about reading auras. So that will come out at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, so whatever time that is, your time. Blue, Silly Rabbit, you got it. Yay! Silly Rabbit, let me know what question you have. So this will be the last free reading of the night. We'll just wrap up with any more donations. So if you really want to get a question in, send me a donation. Also know you can book a reading through my website anytime. Purple or violet? Sarah, I was thinking of that, but I did that last time. So I was like, I need to change it. You're probably picking up on that original color. But yeah, is there any more housekeeping? So yeah, 2 live a week. We'll only have 1 more week of this, basically. And then September, we'll go back to 1 a week. October, I've got all sorts of fun Halloween videos planned. November, I'm pretty sure, is basically going to be the Claire's month. Normally, I don't plan out my videos so far in advance, but I'm just, feeling called to. So side note, my Claire's videos are some of my most popular videos, but they are old. They are so old, and they are not the best. And I feel like I could do a much better job. And if that's how people are finding me, I need to make those videos a little better. So I'm going to redo some of my Claire's videos and basically make them even more jam-packed with information and a lot clearer because I did not do the best job of describing some of them. So November is probably going to be November, December, because I'm not going to just do Claire, but I'll mix it up. But we're going to get a lot of new Claire's videos. So yeah, that's how I found you too. Yeah, good information, but it's not that any of the information I shared was incorrect. It's just I have more that I feel like I could have done better with. And I didn't plan out those videos at all. So I just kind of talked on a whim. Now I script out my videos ahead of time to make sure that I'm saying everything that I want to say. So yeah, November will be definitely starting to redo some of those Claire's videos. Yay, best holiday ever! I'm so excited for that one. All right. Okay, what has been causing the pain in my left leg? I thought it was because I have a bad neck. The chiropractor says it's my nutrition. Is he right? What can I do to improve it? Oh, this is that one chiropractor. I remember reading him a couple days ago. August live readings have been a blur for me. All right. I feel like that's the easy answer. That's what he's giving because it's the easy answer. And in his mind, it's start there. And then he could diagnose everything else. But it's he should know that nutrition is what people put last. See, I went immediately to my feet, but is that me? Because I have similar issues. Is it in your knees, Silly Rabbit? Can you let me know? Also, do you have pain in your left leg? I feel but intuitively, I feel like he's taking the easy first option. Because, the motion that I'm getting, Silly Rabbit, energetically, is the ground up. Something below that is affecting it upwards. Not, from the neck down, like you were talking about. Upper thigh, front left leg. I've got too many messages here and I'm trying to figure it out. Sorry. Because I pulled the destroyer card and I'm like, what is this? Are we destroying something? No. Is this the chiropractor? No. Just read the card. Releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Is this energetic? It's partly energetic. Okay. That makes sense. I feel like it's maybe just a lot stress related because I think from what I remember, because I mean, I read some of you guys fairly often, so I kind of remember, but Silly Rabbit, you're going through like a lot of just like life changes. So the destroyer card is releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. I feel like that's what you've been doing energetically. And so maybe I'm getting like it's like stress related. It's like you're going through a lot of that being uprooted, which makes sense that it's in your legs because sometimes with medical things, they can start energetic and then they can manifest physically. Not always the case. It can go the other way. I don't feel like this is 100% energetic though. I feel like they're like giving me a percentage. Like it's like 15% energetic, and the energetic part of it is that it's like stress because you're entering into a new chapter of life. There's a lot of upheaval around your root chakra, so of course, you know, any legs, your base is going to get affected, and that was probably the energy that I was getting from the ground up. I really still feel drawn to your feet, Silly Rabbit. Like this is me, and I feel like I should just let you know because it could be something you could explore. I don't think that this is what's going on with you, but I feel like it might pop an idea into your head. But like I have really not the best feet, and I've had to wear orthotics since like high school, and my feet actually had foot surgery, and it's such a Pisces thing too. Like Pisces always have feet problems, but I've had like foot surgery, but my orthotics right now are getting old and I'm still using them, but you know, your feet change, your weight changes, and your feet can affect your knees. It can affect your hips. It can just throw everything off. And that's kind of like where I'm coming from is what it feels like. I don't exactly feel like that's it, but maybe it's something to examine, something to bring up to your chiropractor, maybe even your doctor. I do feel like your chiropractor might just be, it's almost like he's giving you the lazy first option is what it seems like, and then he'll like knock through the rest. Yes, orthotics. That might not be it, but that's definitely what I'm getting. I would start there. Start from the ground up. He recommended me that too, and I just haven't had the time to do it. I mean, it's worth it. If your insurance covers it, might as well try. Orthotics twin! Pisces sun and Pisces ascendants tend to have effed up feet. Yes! Oh my gosh. Like, in high school, I have bunions. I have bunions like a grandma. And everyone always used to make fun of me for it. But my bunions got so bad. It was causing me so much pain. And I was playing a lot of volleyball and, like, working out. And it just was, like, it was awful. And like as a teenager, this should not be happening. So I went in and got a surgery, and they actually found like a cyst in my bone, which would have just gotten worse and worse. So I'm glad they caught that, but had to wear orthotics before that, since that. But yeah, I've been wearing the same orthotics. It's probably disgusting. I should get a new pair. LOL, still love you, Lauren. Oh no, it says, yeah, it was like literally like a hole that forms in your bone. And I was just like, what? How does that happen? How does that happen? It's just like an air pocket. But they got it fixed. I have a big weird scar on the top of my foot now. Anyway. Alrighty, you guys. I think we're going to wrap it up here because we didn't get any more donations. So I'm sorry if those of you are just jumping on, but I will be live again next Tuesday. You can catch me then. I am going to do a second live sometime next week. I will let you know next Tuesday, because all of August we're doing, again, 2 lives a week. You can stay connected with me in between on Facebook, Instagram. If you subscribe here, you'll get notified as soon as I'm live. And then when my new videos post on Fridays, you can also jump into the live chat. And I'm in there just typing with you guys so that if you have any questions, you can answer, or I can answer it with you. Tomorrow's video is a lot longer. It's jam-packed with basically everything I know about auras. So it's going to be how to read auras, how to interpret auras, how to see them better, how to use your other clairs, how to analyze it, all sorts of everything with auras. I'm really nervous about the thumbnail. I'm worried I'm going to get like flagged on YouTube because I have a picture of an old aura drawing that someone did for me, and it looks like a female genitalia. And I'm so worried that somebody's going to flag it and then I'm going to have to take the video down or something. Anyway. Keisha, I could probably do one more yes if you want to. Really, Erica? Oh my gosh. It's been, I don't even want to say how long it's been. I'm going to tell him he's being lazy and to give me the list now. Yeah, it's almost like, it kind of just feels like schluffing you off energy. And it's kind of like, oh, I'll just say the diet thing because they'll work on the diet and it'll take them a long time. And then if it's still not working, then they'll come back. It's like him pushing it off so that he doesn't have to think through it, which is kind of like, dude, do your job. I know you're good. I'm already thinking about changing the thumbnail. The thing is I pose for my thumbnails because I used to just be like, oh, I'll take a screenshot of the video. But then there's never a good screenshot. I'm always like making a really dumb face. So now I'm like, I purposely do it. And I was holding the aura drawings because I'm going to teach you guys how to do an aura drawing. And I just wasn't thinking when I was holding them up. And then I was like, crap. If I need to take it down, I'll take it down. But we'll see. Silly rabbit. You're funny. Thank you, Kesha. Okay. Is Brian bisexual and does he like men? They're showing me like a spectrum and like where he lies on the spectrum of gayness, which is like funny how my guides are presenting this information to me. I honestly don't think so. I could be wrong, Keisha, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. But it feels like they're showing me like, here's 100% straight, here's 100% gay, and I feel like he just floats like just a teeny bit this way, but it's like there's resistance and he comes back. And I feel like that might be what you're picking up on is that little like movement, and I'm just asking like, is that like peer pressure pushing him back, or is that like him test? I think it's more him testing the waters and being like, am I this way? No, I'm not this way. And I feel like what's happening is like you're looking at his outward appearance and you're like, okay, his outward appearance does not, or maybe his actions or how he acts, that does not match like what I'm feeling. And maybe he's just, I feel like it's more of like a social awkwardness. I see bisexual men on his friends list, so I'm curious to know. Yeah, I still don't think so. And again, I could be wrong, and I'll still pull a card on it, but I feel like he's open to that, and he totally 100% like respects other people, so he's not gonna not be friends with somebody because of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's definitely like thought about it, which is that little like movement towards it that I'm getting, but something, it's like he comes back and he's like, yeah, no. Because I feel like he's very mindful of it, and he's like thinking like, yeah, you know, I don't want to deny myself that if that's how I feel, but at the end of the day, I don't think that's how he feels. You can be open to something like that, and but not feel that way. And that's kind of like what I'm getting. Let me see if there's any other further information. Because I do know people too that like have told me that, you know, they think they would have been bi or gay, but then they had this happen to them, like a trauma that happened to them, and now they just like can't even like entertain that. So I asked if that was maybe the case, and I don't even feel like it's that. I feel like he is genuinely very like secure in his sexuality. I do feel, and I will say this, Keisha, that I think he's trying to like put you off a little bit, and so maybe that's your mind trying to understand why he would be doing that. I do feel like he's like trying to be like, oh, I'm not interested in a relationship. Unfortunately, is what I'm getting, and so I think your mind is like trying to rationalize things. But again, I could be wrong. If like sometimes when you get a reading, somebody can tell you something that's wrong, and then you just like feel like you're right even more. And I always say trust your gut at the end of the day. He's very open and friendly. I think it's just sexual like security. Like he knows who he is, and he's not afraid of, you know, being himself, which is how we all should be. Thank you, Eureka. It's probably more if somebody reports it, but we'll see. Somebody that like hates me, but I try to block those people when they leave nasty comments. Alrighty, thank you, Kesha. I think I'm really gonna cut it off there for the night. So yeah, connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and tomorrow's video is auras. Members, remember that our next live is August 1st, and come with your ideas for your member only video, for those of you that are in that membership tier. And I'm gonna leave the full moon ritual in the comments of the previous video that I did, and I'm also gonna figure out my Wi-Fi. Oh, totally silly rabbit. Like, I don't feel like it's a cruel thing. I don't think he's like trying to be that way. It's just like, it's easier to deal with it later than deal with it now, is like where his mind is at. But it's like, it's you and your body and your life. Like, you don't have time to wait for it. But oh yes, absolutely. Very stressful for them. I think that's super big of you. You're welcome, Kesha. I'll look out for the Google reviews. I'm sure it's just like pending, and maybe it's because I'm like, I just made it and it's getting a bunch of Google reviews, and Google's like, what the hell? Yes, see you tomorrow, Jana. And I know I haven't gotten back to you, but Zoom is fine, and I will send you a Zoom link. My video will go live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. You should actually see the preview of it on my page. Bunny is trying. Oh, yay. That makes me happy, Silly Rabbit. But what was I saying? Yeah, tomorrow at 11 a.m. You should see the little preview for it. And you can even, I think, hit the little bell that says, like, remind me, set reminder. Or maybe that was just the live one. I'm not sure, but I will be there. So, all right, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your night. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.